Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cloud9 here today. And man, let's just talk about Gohan. Let's talk about how Gohan is now supposedly back, with this new Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. I haven't made a video on this channel in a while, and I just want to share my passion and excitement for the fact that Gohan's finally going to seemingly get his moment. So, if you haven't heard the news, Akira Toriyama just announced that Gohan is apparently the strongest ever, or so it said, is basically his words that he used. And it raises some questions, not just about that, with this upcoming movie, but it got me to start questioning whether or not, and this, just hear me out on this, if it would be cool if maybe they had a plot thread with Broly and Gohan in the movie. Now, do I think that's going to be the main gist of the movie? No, not at all. The movie's about Gohan facing off against the Gamma androids and basically him saving Pan, seemingly, and Piccolo inspiring him, so it's nothing about that. But I do notice that they are obviously having Broly in the movie, and they have Goku and Vegeta in the movie. So even though this is a long shot, wouldn't that be really cool if they did a plot thread where they actually had um, Goku and Vegeta? Obviously, they're each other's training partners, but Broly is in need of some type of sparring partner himself. Now, obviously, they're his sparring partners too. But one thing that we know about Broly is that Broly naturally gains experience. He gets stronger, as the fight goes on, right? And one thing that we also know from Broly is that when he trained with Paragus, he pretty much reached a point where he wasn't getting anything out of his fights anymore with Paragus. So while I'm very doubtful that this would happen, I've always kind of felt like, what if Broly and Gohan kind of were rivals in a sense to each other? Gohan doesn't have the same thirst for excitement or for fighting or whatever in the same way, but um, fans always debate about the potential of these characters in Dragon Ball, right? We know Frieza has a ridiculous amount of potential. The fact that he had like a power level in the millions without training a single day. And then when he trains for 4 months, then obviously he reaches Super Saiyan God level, Super Saiyan Blue, all of that, right? Then we look at obviously Gohan in Dragon Ball Super. He went from Blue Saga levels to being Super Saiyan Blue levels, and just training for like a single day. So when I look at something like Broly, now Broly, he was born with a power level of 10,000, and then from that point forward, he continued to rise. His power, as we all know, like from the original Broly, obviously his power is overflowing, right? But the comparison between Broly and Gohan, I think, would be pretty cool to draw, right? Now Gohan, I guess technically wasn't born with this overflowing power level, but instead his was more, I almost want to say locked, more dormant. That's like the comparison I kind of like between the two. I don't think they're going to draw this comparison. Again, this is just me talking as a fan, so just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. Something I kind of I've been mulling over in my head. So it would be interesting if Gohan at his peak potential would be kind of like a rival to Broly. Just because we've seen him have these power spikes throughout the whole course of Dragon Ball Z, right? These big power spikes. And even within Super, before Akira Toriyama even made this statement, we've had characters like Vegeta every once in a while remind us that Gohan has the highest potential out of all of them, right? He has this hidden power, just this raw strength, that shows up every now and then that we see spike, right? In Broly, it's more so he has this power that he does. That's not really controlled. It's not suppressed. It's not locked up like Gohan's. It's like constantly kind of pouring out, that type of deal. So I could see them really doing something like that. I don't think it's going to be a main plot thread, but again, I think it would be pretty dope if they actually had Broly trying to learn how to control his power, Goku and Vegeta trying to help him with that, but basically him not really having the right sparring partner, because clearly they're not going to focus on that too heavily in the movie. It looks like most of the clips that we've seen in the trailers tend to be on Beerus's planet. They're not really anywhere else, that we see taking place. It's really just mainly there from what we see with those three characters. So if they ended up drawing the conclusion that, oh, Gohan would be a good sparring partner for him, and then Gohan does, for whatever reason, at the end of this movie, get some type of development where he decides to stay in his at least decent peak condition, right? He decides to continue to train for whatever reason from this point forward. I feel like Broly would be that perfect sparring partner for him. Now, in terms of, we look at what's going on right now currently in the series, you have Ultra Ego, you have Ultra Instinct. It's like, well, what can Gohan have to stay on that level? They're trying to teach Broly Super Saiyan Blue. What else could Gohan really have? Obviously he has the ultimate mode, or the ultimate transformation, but seeing as how they're trying to draw different paths for each of these characters. So for example, Ultra Instinct, they have the path with like the angels, right? Whis, right? And then with Ultra Ego, it's like the destruction path. They're going with Beerus. One thing that they haven't really fully explored is, we know that the Supreme Kai is connected to Beerus, but Beerus and Whis also have a connection too. And we know this from even learning like in the Future Trunks timeline, how when Supreme Kai died, Beerus died, and then the angels kind of go dormant at that point. We've heard about this, right? So they're, all three of them are connected. So you have to question, do the Supreme Kai have their own type of path? Because the Supreme Kais represent creation. And that's something that to me seems a little bit more softer. It seems like it requires a lot more intellect. So I would find it interesting if they did do something with Gohan on, Ultra something. I don't know, Ultra, people like, even though Mystic is not an official term, if they had, Ultra Mystic, Ultra Ultimate, I don't know, something, Ultra Ultimate or Ultra Unlock Potential. And again, this is me just talking, as a pure Gohan fan. I'm kind of fanning out with this. The movie, they haven't really done a good job, I feel like, so far of really giving us that hype that I think a lot of us want. But if you're a true Gohan fan, then you really want to see Gohan succeed. You want to see him have, kind of what we wanted from him all along in the fan. I'm sure we want Gohan to, have his happy family and all that, but let's be real. A lot of us Gohan fans want to see Gohan kick some butt. Let's be real here. And I'm hoping that they don't let us down with that. I'm hoping that this isn't just going to be some localized fight that doesn't really go much of anywhere. Akira Toriyama, I don't know if, I don't want to say he doesn't like the character, because obviously he created the character, right? But clearly we've seen what characters he's kind of put more focus on in the limelight with a lot of these movies and storylines that have happened. And it makes sense with the narrative that we see with Dragon Ball Super, that Goku and Vegeta are the ones that get to shine because they're the main characters of Dragon Ball Super. Vegeta wasn't the main character of Z. Let's be clear about that. But he is one of the main characters of Super. Super's its own story. And so Gohan is never really going to get that same shine. We're lucky that we're going to even get this movie where it appears he's going to get this somewhat of the shine. I'm just hoping that they not only have him rise to the occasion. I know they have this whole thing with Perfect Cell, or people think that Cell is going to be in the movie. We don't know exactly if he is or isn't, at least as of the date of this video coming out. But yeah, the potential thing can go pretty far. And to bring it back to the whole thing I was mentioning with Broly, if I were to, again, this is just me. If I were to do something with this movie, what I would do is I would actually take a little bit of that DNA from Broly and give it to whatever this Cell incarnation that we might be getting, and have that beef up the Cell incarnation. Because if you think about it, Cell, the original Cell at least, he had the DNA from like Goku, Vegeta, and a bunch of other fighters. So to me, I'm like, well, Broly has this affinity to basically grow in power as he fights. If you want a real challenge for Gohan, what better challenge but to have him fight a Cell version like that? I don't know. I just think it's a waste if they don't do some kind of comparison between Gohan and Broly in this movie. Just some kind of. I know that may make some hardcore Broly fans mad, and I could kind of understand why, considering the fact that they've done Gohan so dirty at this point that it makes Gohan look like nothing. So it's like you're going to literally have him just jump up in scale and leapfrog over everybody for no reason with no training. But given the fact that his character kind of was already that hidden potential character, I'm just like, just let it happen, guys. Let it happen. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Gohan, let Gohan have his one last hurrah. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, guys, this is just a quick video. Just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on on not just this movie, but some of the ideas that I talked about in this video. At first, I was gonna kind of center this video just around the whole Gohan and Broly dynamic, but to be honest with you, I just really want to hear your guys' thoughts about the movie and that's coming up, and then of course your thoughts of everything I've talked about as far as the Broly Gohan comparison, that sort of thing. But yeah, guys, make sure you put your thoughts down below. Like this video, and yeah, I will catch you guys later. See you later.